7th grade language arts students is my target audience, and I'm trying to teach them the concept of utopia, which comes from The Perfect Community Within the Giver by Lois Lowry. My target audience is going to be interested and have fun because students naturally are fascinated by the utopian society portrayed in the book because it's so unlike their own. The enjoyment of this adventure would be role-playing a life entirely different while seeing their own lives in a contrasting perspective. Finally, students love adventure and interaction. This session is scheduled to be one 45-minute class period, and in order to exceed expectations, I prepared a video introduction that I've included at the end, and I will have them complete a questionnaire the day before. Students can choose to play any role in the community that is found in the book. Some of the roles include Director of Recreation, a birth mother, or a fish hatchery attendant. Challenges will be primarily in creating the responsibilities of the specified role and bringing harmony to the community. It's as if all the roles are being ushered in at the same time. Collaboration, authenticity based on the novel reading, and immersion will be vital. The players will be able to use any tool available to each individual character based on the specified roles found in the book. The community rules will be in effect, such as no lying, the sharing of feelings, and the precision of language. The limitations of this game will include an initial resistance to role-playing. Although childish at times to 7th graders, peer pressure will be prominent and difficult to dispel. Also, with the 7th grade mentality, directions must be specific without squelching creativity, and focus must be directed with their short attention spans. Enthusiasm from the instructor must be contagious, and carefully guided scenarios must be provided frequently. The background story comes from Lois Lowry's The Giver, with the idea of the perfect community existing to take away all pain. However, with the removal of pain, the void of love is also created. In the video introduction at the end, you'll see that I've used the thermal effect, as it talks about that in the book with the heat-seeking planes, and I've also utilized the pilot that's introduced in the first chapter. The adventure takes place somewhat futuristically, as scientists have been able to remove color from the community and climate control has been regulated. Students always respond well to this book, and this adventure will only increase their enjoyment as they become engrossed within the situation and the reality of their own world in light of another. In addition, role-playing as a character very different from themselves will increase their understanding and give them the chance to act out their imagination in a safe setting. Students will want to play this game simply for the stark contrast of what normally happens in their dominantly behavioristic school. The idea of varied instructional strategies is met with enthusiasm on their part, and imagination that they normally incorporate into their daily gaming experience will now be incorporated into their classroom. Finally, this will prepare them for their novel project, creating a perfect community of their own. No doubt the idea of role-playing and creativity will be the highlight for most, but the most exciting part of the game may be the creation of the community by the entire class. Not only will they receive great satisfaction in their work as individuals, but collaboratively they will be able to see what they can accomplish together. A discussion time afterwards will also be very rewarding as they share their thoughts and feelings. Finally, this lends itself beautifully to the ARCS model, as attention will be captured, relevance prominent throughout, confidence gained, and satisfaction achieved.
Greetings, Mrs. Baniaga's class. You don't know me, but I was a pilot from the beginning of The Giver. Do you remember the first chapter? Jonas is describing the fear he felt when an unidentified aircraft flies over the community twice. I was that pilot. I was in the sleek jet, the jet with the single needle nose. I caused the fear that created the lockdown, and the leader made up a story about a pilot in training that made a mistake and would be released. But that wasn't the truth. I was a pilot looking for a community that I had only heard whispered about in my travels, and I found it. Mrs. Baniaga wants me to share some of those experiences with you, but she has requested that I introduce your project first, as one of the few that has ever found this perfect community. I will be your guide in this adventure. Your objective today is to create a perfect community, a utopia. You filled out a questionnaire that determines what role you'll be playing. Perhaps you may be the Director of Recreation, or even a pilot like me. You are to become that character and work together to create a community that is flawless. The Giver will be your guidebook, and it will help you shape your utopia. What rules will you establish? Which role will take the lead, if any? What skills are you bringing to your community in order to develop it more perfectly? How will you work together? Enjoy this adventure, and I look forward to helping each of you in your individual roles.